Why, hello, fellow Patriots, and welcome back to the Patriot Dad channel, where we can discuss current events and modern issues, all while keeping it as real as possible. Today, we're doing another installment of the Patriot Dad legal series, where we discuss some of my ongoing legal complications and things going on with my divorce in this wonderful, wonderful world that we have of no-fault divorce. But today, we're going to discuss that, as well as what equitable distributions really look like. If you ever wanted to know, just stick around and listen for a little bit and see if you think that equitable means equal or fair. Hint, it does not. But also just the current outlook and the results of the hearing that I had just the other day and how it's going to impact my and my family's financial future. And is it really in everybody's best interest? The answer is no. Now, in my opinion, this really can't be how the system is supposed to be, not if you wanted to incentivize marriage, relationships, families, and children. Now, it is this way, which makes me wonder, is that really what they're trying to incentivize? And my thoughts are no. I think our current system is designed to break the modern family, to not have kids, and to try and basically make us go away. Why do I think that? Well, look at no-fault divorce. We're allowing relationships to end that were supposed to be lifelong commitments, and we're allowing it to end for, well, nobody's fault. We just woke up one day and decided, you know what? I'm just not happy. I just don't feel like it anymore. Just no real reason. Oh, somebody said something mean and hurt my feelings. Now, this flies in the face of everything that marriage is supposed to be, better or worse, richer and poorer, sickness and health. Now, no-fault divorce just makes people go richer but not poorer, health but not sickness. Like, you hit any kind of a roadblock, people are just out the door. Now, that can't be the way that this should work. It just can't be. It's not long-term sustainable. So why is it that we allow no-fault divorce? Honestly, it feels like we just let the pendulum swing too far on this one. Originally, I think people thought that the requirements for getting a divorce were too complicated, and we put too much onus on women to prove that they needed to be out of the relationship, and it was too difficult to get out of one. So we let the pendulum swing and go completely the other direction. Now it's so easy to get out of one, I don't think people really understand the consequences of doing so. And, why no fault? Why not just require fault? Like, what was so bad about that? There should be a middle ground there. I understand infidelity. I understand, actual, abuse. I understand all kinds of things that could be an at fault. If you can prove them to a reasonable person and where they would judge that a reasonable person would agree with you, just having to have some sort of proof, evidence, or a real justification for ending a lifelong commitment seems like it would make sense to me. And in a system like that also, if you can prove fault, it seems like the person at fault would get less and the person who was not at fault would get more, instead of the current system, which is set up for what they call equitable distribution. Now, let me tell you about my experience with equitable distribution. They take a list of all of your assets. They put them in columns. They take the monetary or estimated monetary value of all those assets. They add up both people's columns. They take the total, they divide it in half, and then they say, you know what? If you have $500,000 in assets, that means each person gets $250,000 in assets. That's great, right? Well, maybe if you guys both worked and you had a bunch of shared assets and you both earn about the same income, sure. But what if you're in a situation like I was? What if you have a stay-at-home spouse and you make most of the money and most of the retirement and most of everything else is in your name? But what if you're in a situation like mine where it's no fault? However, there was years of infidelity and all kinds of other nonsense that would, in a right world, be declared as a at-fault divorce. Now, you would think some of that would, count towards something. But I'll tell you, it doesn't. None of that matters. The court doesn't care about any of it. They just care that you both want out or one of you wants out. You don't even both have to want out. And then they say, great, here's the total value, $500,000. You have the greater majority of it. Divide everything in half. And then, oh, look, you owe her, just say $100,000. Well, how are you going to get that $100,000? Well, at least the way it works in the state that I live, they take the most liquid cash assets first, and they work their way to the least liquid, which means that when you divide everything in half, if, like in my case, most of the money's tied up in retirement accounts, I get to keep those, but I also can't touch that money without paying significant penalties. But where does all the liquid cash go? Where does all the proceeds for the sale of our home go? oh, that goes straight to her because that's what's equitable and fair. Now, I offered to what they call quadro my retirement accounts, which would just be to bifurcate them and assign half of the value to her, and I get to keep the other half. But they weren't interested. Why? Because that is the least liquid of the assets. So you tell me how it is that when I worked so hard for so many years to keep our household afloat, that my significant other can just decide one day that she doesn't want to be a part of it, split, and take over $100,000 in cash and leave me with all the debt and assets that I can't touch without paying penalties. Doesn't seem very fair, does it? So equitable is not fair. Equitable is not equal. And this can't be the way that this should be. This can't stay this way. It's not long-term sustainable. It's breaking families. It's incentivizing the breaking of families. It's not a good thing. And in the end, who really wins? In the end, the attorneys win because the attorneys will drag it out and the attorneys will bicker and the attorneys will complicate things until they've taken their tens of thousands of dollars and gone their own way. And then what's left? The remains of a broken family with significantly less resources than they started with. It doesn't seem smart to me. It doesn't seem sustainable to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how this is supposed to be in the best interest of the non-offending party. I don't understand how this is supposed to be in the best interest of my children, who I currently have full custody of. Now, there's a hearing coming about that, but I would really appreciate some prayers from y'all that the outcome ends up being what's best for my children. It's not about me winning, and it's not about my ex winning. It's my kids need to win. That's what's important. And in this system, the way that this is set up, nobody is going to win. We can't let this system stay the way that it is. This pendulum has swung far too far. There needs to be middle ground. There needs to be a reinforcement of our values. There needs to be a reinforcement of the importance of family, the importance of marriage, and the importance of honoring your word. You make a commitment, you stick to it, at least in my opinion. But, what do I know? But thank you to those of you that made it to the end of the video. I greatly appreciate those of you that stuck through it. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon below so that you can be notified when I upload additional content in the coming weeks. Please make sure to share this video with friends and family, and please also remember to pray for the best outcome for my children. Feel free to leave a comment if you have a recommendation for a future topic that you would like to see on the channel, as most videos on this channel come from audience recommendations from people just like you. So thank you very much for those. It makes my job a lot easier when it comes to thinking up a topic for this week or next week. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. God bless, and bye for now. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.